Okay, let's talk about putting decimals in order from least to greatest, of course. All numbers always should go from least to greatest. Uh, Now, once you've changed your fractions into decimals and everything is a decimal, you're set because decimals are really easy to compare. One of the best things you can do with decimals is to think about money, right? And you'll always be able to tell that $1 is more than 95 cents. So with that in mind, let's take a look at how we might compare $1 to something like this. Now, a lot of people look and they see 95 and they think that's got to be more than 1. But the trick is that you need to line up the decimal places. Right? If we write $1 with its decimal place, remember the decimal goes after the whole number place or after the ones place, and uh, we write the 95 with its decimal place, and we line the decimals up. Now this is like super important. Having these decimals lined up is really important because it tells us what the place values are. So we can compare the right place value to the right place value, right? So put those decimals right there, and that lets us know that we're comparing the ones place to the ones place, the tenths place to the tenths place, the hundredths place to the hundredths place. And if some of them are empty, just fill them in with zeros, right? This is an empty place value, so we'll fill in with a 0. And same here. And 95 cents, there is no whole dollar in 95 cents. It's not enough money to make a whole dollar. So the ones place, the whole numbers place, is going to be empty, right? So whenever you're comparing decimals, you should always stack them up, decimal on top of decimal, and fill in any empty place values. It should make a nice rectangle, right? All the place values are stacked on top of each other. And then it appears that you're just comparing these two numbers, 100 and 95. And it's easy to tell that 100 is greater than 95. Okay? So let's just take one more example here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's take a look at these numbers. Let's take a look at something like 300ths. Let's take a look at something like 1 and 2/5. And let's take a look at something like 0.250. Now, a lot of people will just look at this and they'll see the 0.250 or 250 thousandths, and they'll assume it's the biggest one because it has the most numbers. But we'll see that that's not necessarily the case. Let's line up our numbers. I'll write the 1.2, and I'll write the 0.03, and I'll write the 0.250, right? And you notice that the decimals are all lined up. That means all the other place values are lined up too. And now I'm going to fill in the blank places with zeros. Okay, there's a 0 in the ones place. Oh, and look, there's a thousandths place here. I better fill in these with zeros. Okay, and now let's look and see which number appears to be the smallest. Part of the secret here is let's just pretend the decimals aren't there anymore. What number looks like it's the smallest now? Okay. Well, it looks like the 0.03 is the smallest. It looks like, in our numbers, it looks just like it's a 30, right? And compared to 250 and 1,200, it's the smallest. The next biggest number appears to be 250. So that's our next biggest number, comma, 0.250. And the biggest number of all is the 1200. Now, our original number, that was 1.2. Sorry, I ran out of room here. 1.2. So there they go. Those are the numbers. This is the smallest, this is the largest, and this is the one in the middle. So, let me put my decimals back in there. Remember, line up your numbers with decimals, fill in any of the empty places with 0, and then pretend the decimal's not there, and just look at them like whole numbers. That will help you put them in order. Okay, thanks for watching.